welcome to Etalk, where we bring you everything from LA to Elon. I'm Lindsay, here with Sky, Canry, and Carrie, and we will be discussing some of this week's top stories. So first off, a terminally ill woman who fought her parents in court for her right to die has now changed her mind. Grace Sun-Yoon Lee is 28 and she's battling brain cancer. She's being kept alive by a feeding tube and ventilator. Her dad's a pastor and he wanted her to, stay on it because that way if the doctors removed her from life support, she would technically be going to hell. So, and she has changed her mind about this. Who do you guys think is responsible for the decision, whether to keep her alive or not? I know this is a touchy subject, so.
Well, I was reading a lot up on this, and she's actually 28 years old, so she is an adult. It's not like a child fighting for emancipation of their parents. And I do think ultimately the individual has the decision, but I also personally think that you should always yield on the side of life.
You know what? She's in a critical state right now, hooked up to ventilator tubes, and she's on her deathbed. So obviously her state of mind is a little askew right now. So I don't think that the decision that she made to change her mind was in any state of mind that she was when she made the decision to
So you think she should have stuck with the decision that she fought for in court?
I think that she's trying to make peace with her parents
on
her deathbed. You know, her parents obviously want her to stay alive as long as possible, and I think it's her way of just making peace and just sticking it out for them.
Honestly, I'm just like, who does this? Like one day you're like, oh, I want to live. Tomorrow, no, I don't want to live anymore. And then the next day, I feel like it's her decision, but I agree with you that this is a case where you're terminally ill. Like you're obviously not in your right state of mind. So for you to be back and forth on such an important decision such as life or death, like I feel like that's something that other people, as far as like her parents, should be able to kind of take over.
Okay, that makes sense. And so on a lighter note, maybe a more, I guess, happy, but not so, one part happy, one part sad. Bachelor Ben Flanick and his fiancée, Courtney Robertson, recently called it quits, while Bachelorette Ashley Hebert and fiancé JP Rosenbaum plan to wed in December. So my question for you guys is, do you really think that this stuff works? And if it does work, what are the keys to success after the show? There have been two marriages. Ashley and JP will be the third out of it, but there's been so many seasons.
That's what I was
so many
gonna
failures.
Say. 13 seasons and there's only 2.5 maybe marriages. Like, I mean, how great are the chances? For me, I just feel like having watched so many other reality TV dating shows, I just feel like it's all for the fame. It's for your little piece of 15-minute time on the stage in the spotlight, and then afterwards, you go about your business, you get paid, and that's all it is.
I completely disagree. I 110% believe in The Bachelorette and Bachelor. The reason I think it does not work out sometimes is because the Bachelor or Bachelorette kind of chooses the more sexy option, someone who's more for TV, and I think that's exactly what happened with Courtney. She was so out there, so outrageous, had no one on her side in the house, so he went for her because that was going to make the best ratings or would make him seem more popular.
You could say that about Jake and Vienna too, because Vienna was hated in the house.
Exactly.
Jake was enthralled with her, didn't care what anyone said, and they ended up being not a good choice.
Actually, this is working out because she picked someone who doesn't look like a front runner. She with the right mindset and picked someone who she actually liked, and now it did work out. So I think it's all up to who they choose.
Altogether, I think that these shows are just absolutely, it's all false pretenses. It's not real. People act differently in front of cameras.
They do, exactly.
You know, and people are put in a situation together. It's not real life. You're not meeting in real life.
And you know what?
Your paths are not crossing naturally.
And then for it to be so short, how can I fall in love with someone?
All right, guys. Well, maybe they should take some advice for us and go on some real dates, like the movies.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies,
something normal.
We're going to talk about Taken 2, starring Liam Neeson. And last week, it led the box office, bringing in $50 million. And my question for you guys is, what are the keys to making a good sequel? Like, what do you think makes people want to keep coming back to pay to watch these movies that are coming right after another?
When you have a really great movie that everyone loves, people obviously get excited about the sequel, but there's always that feeling like it's not going to live up to the first movie, you know? So I think maintaining the essence of the first movie is really important in the sequel. You know, why did people love it? Keeping that, but then you have to be brilliant. The director has to be brilliant in adding a new twist that's gonna draw the audience and really capture the audience. And I heard Taken 2 was amazing.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
The same too. But for me, I think the first movie has to be written for a sequel. I think the sequels fail when they make a lot of money on the first movie and say, oh, we're gonna try to make more money by just making up another story to go along. I think it only works when you have a storyline that leads for a second movie. Like Harry Potter, Twilight, and now Taken as done.
Lord of the Rings, my personal favorite. Kenry, what do you think?
I haven't seen the movie, but I did see Taken 1, and it was amazing. I have my tickets. Maybe sometime in the future.
You'll have to let us know about that. And keeping on with the theme of movies and movie stars, Mila Kunis has been named Esquire's Sexiest Woman Alive for 2012, dethroning Rihanna. So do you guys think that this was the right pick, and what makes Mila so sexy?
I think for Mila, it's all about the exotic look. To me, I think, of course, beauty in the eye of the beholder. To me, she's not the sexiest woman alive. I think she's definitely more of like a niche audience. A certain type of people like her. I kind of go for more of the all-American looking girl. I think it should be Blake Lively. Every year, I think it should be Blake Lively.
You know, Mila Kunis, I enjoyed actually looking at the magazines, the pictures they took of her, because they did not look thoroughly photoshopped, so it was a more natural feel, which I thought was a positive, definitely. So yeah, Mila Kunis. One thing that I don't find sexy about her is the fact that she smokes cigarettes. That's just one thing that I just don't, not sexy, not sexy.
No.
You know, maybe she cut that out.
Kenry, what do you think?
I mean, I'm sure that's not part of the list of like, if you're, you know, if you can qualify.
Making a checklist, yeah.
Definitely, I would agree with you. Cigarette smoking, for me personally, I don't feel like that's the sexy thing, but not my list. Yeah. I agree with you, however, that I feel like it should be someone kind of exotic. I know we're going, you know, to like the homely and, you know, more natural look, which is really good, especially since girls nowadays just have a false sense of what beauty is. So I agree with them in that regards.
Okay. So going from one sexy person to another, James Bond, notorious for being sexy, and there have been many James Bonds over the years. So who do you guys think is the sexiest James Bond?
Should we all count to 3 and say it?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Pierce Brosnan. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I had a feeling we would all agree on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Sean Connery as an actor, and he's great. Just not my cup of tea in that essence. Yeah, and Daniel Craig too. He's pretty good looking, but I don't think he's the sexiest James Bond ever.
No. I think Pierce kind of has, the all-American look, which the other ones kind of did not. The other actors were more good at acting and brought more to the story, where Pierce is just completely eye candy for, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't seen all of the movies, because there are many, and it goes a ways back. So perhaps if I were to watch one of them, an older version, I might find one of them even sexier because of his acting, but just looking at
good acting is always sexy.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have. Stay tuned to hear about how a group of students is trying to make a difference in children's lives. You don't want to miss this.
Hi, and welcome back to Etalk. I'm your host, Caroline McSwain. Tonight, I'm here with philanthropist Mackenzie Wagner. Mackenzie is here on behalf of the upcoming event, Bon and Mew. So what is this charity event we're all hearing about around campus?
Well, we're so excited to have this event this year. Find You is putting it on with the help of a bunch of local organizations and campus organizations, including Elon, and it's basically a spin-off of the music festival Bonnaroo, which takes place every year in Tennessee. And it's a music and arts festival, and so we've tried to create a bunch of activities to raise money for Children's Miracle Network. It's going to go on for 3 days, and we're so excited about it this year.
That sounds amazing. And the whole school's invited, right?
Yes, anyone is invited, even local community members. There'll be some activities where parents can bring their children, and yeah.
So what kind of activities will there be? You said it's about 3 days. Is it different events each day, or how does that work?
Yep, it's going to be right after fall break from October 17th to 19th. It'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Wednesday, we have tie-dye, which is called a Fi-Dye for FIMU.
Oh, that's cute.
And we'll be selling Bonnaroo t-shirts, and people can buy those, or they can bring their own to tie-dye. Supplies will be provided. And there will also be face painting that day, so that's the event. It would be great to bring your kids to, and a collective canvas. And anyone can, paint or add whatever they want, and that's actually going to be hung up in the main hall of Duke Children's Hospital.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Yep.
And then Thursday, other events will be happening?
Yes, Thursday we'll be doing a yoga class at 4:15 on the Mosley lawn. Yes, it's going to be very exciting. And every day we also have a profit share going on.
Oh, wow.
Wednesday it's at Pandora's Pies right on campus.
Okay.
Thursday it'll be at Mimi's Cafe.
Ooh, I love
and
Mimi's.
Friday we'll be doing it at Yo-Zone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then to cap off the whole event, there's a big concert on Friday, right?
Yes, we're so excited for the concert on Friday. There'll be local bands and a band coming in from Boone that's really popular too.
Wow.
It'll be a free cookout with hot dogs and hamburgers.
Oh
of
my
course,
gosh.
donations are always accepted,
Right.
but it's going to be a really great day.
That's so cool. And then I heard on the passes to Bonnaroo.
Yes.
So people have been paying throughout the week to sort of get their name in the pot, right?
Right. We've had a Mosley table set up all week. It's $5 for a ticket. We'll have them set up again next week throughout the event, and people can also buy tickets during all the different events that we're having. It's just $5. You get your name in there, and it's for 2 passes to Bonnaroo 2013.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Elon is sort of known for having a lot of philanthropy events. You hear about them almost every week. One organization is doing this, another organization is doing this. What sets Bonnaroo apart from those other philanthropy events?
We're so excited about Bonnaroo. It's the first time that we're ever doing it. It's going to be 3 days long, which is really neat, but it's also just different types of activities, things that we haven't really seen before with the tie-dye and the yoga, and it's really all going to benefit CMN in such a great way. And Duke Children's Hospital has contacted us. They're so excited that we're having the event. So basically, we're just trying to get everybody as excited as we are about it.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, Mackenzie. If you'd like more information on Bonnaroo and what FIMU is doing for Children's Miracle Network, log on to www.crowdrise.com/Bonnaroo or check us out on Facebook. Again, I'm Caroline McSwain with Etalk.
Living in a dorm is part of the college lifestyle, but your room doesn't have to be drab. I spoke to 2 first-year students, Kayla Harvey and Samantha Allen, who are living on campus and who have some tips on how to give your room a fresh yet homey look.
I brought a lot of stuff from my room at home, so my room at home now is kind of empty, but it feels like it's more like my room here.
I think I'm the opposite. Everything's basically new. My room doesn't look anything like this, but I have pictures and we've been trying to personalize it as much as possible. Yeah.
We both have quilts. My mom made mine, and yours is a
I have a t-shirt quilt.
Buying all of the stuff for your room can be expensive, but Harvey and Allen said Bed Bath & Beyond and the Container Store had some good deals for students.
Container Store has a whole college night, which is pretty fun, and you get discounts.
And Bed Bath & Beyond has a list of all the schools and a list of what you can buy there. It's really easy to get stuff there.
Students also have the option to live in an on or off-campus apartment. Elon sophomore Emily Jagalo shared how she dressed up her place.
Well, I think the curtains were really helpful to make it homey because it just gave such a different light on the room. Also the mirror, I really love the mirror in the corner. It opens up the room and just makes it look a little bigger, which is always helpful. And the slip covers, because the furniture that they gave us is nice, but you can add your own colors, and I think it's helpful.
Jagalo says that she and her roommate used an up-and-coming social media site to give them ideas for decorating.
We looked at Pinterest a lot. We both love Pinterest, and we got a lot of inspiration from that. I don't think there's any specific pin or magazine really, but just overall, Pinterest is a great resource.
Before you get started dressing up your apartment, Jagalo has one more piece of advice for you.
Well, I think it's always good to start with a vision, know what you want, because otherwise you can just be buying all sorts of different things and it doesn't really flow well. So I think come up with a vision and talk to your roommate really, because you want to make sure you have the same idea. But other than that, I think it's really important to try to save space in apartments because it's not a whole house, you know, you have to try to cram all your stuff in a room. So space saving thing, like I have a hutch over my desk, which is really helpful because you can put pictures on it, just more space.
Now that we've shared some advice with you, it's time to go out there and get creative with your rooms. I'm Lindsay Schmidt, and this is Etalk.
Welcome back. Caroline, Kathleen, and I will be showing you the best way to get the perfect basic face.
And sharing our secrets on our favorite beauty products.
All right, so I know we all have like what
Our regimens.
Yeah, of how we start off. Caroline, what do you do first?
Okay, so I moisturize at night. A lot of people do it in the morning, but with my skin type, I feel like I get sort of oily if I moisturize in the morning. So I use this Olay Active Hydrating Cream at night before I go to bed after I've washed my face and everything. And that's always my first step. It's, you know, the preparation the night before.
You gotta have a good prep.
Exactly. When do you guys moisturize?
I usually moisturize in the morning, like right after you wash your face. First of all, you're not supposed to wash your face with like a facial wash in the morning, just because if you use it at night, it dries out again. So if you use like a specific wash that you have, like I love my Neutrogena like grapefruit thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that in the morning because it will dry it out. I use this Olay Complete. It has SPF 15. Yeah, it is the best. It has SPF 15 in it, so that way, you know, if you forget to put on your sunscreen, SPF 15 isn't enough to keep it from sunburning, but it's like, it's good enough to like hold off for a little bit. So
a lot of products have the SPF in them. You know,
my foundation does.
Yeah, CoverGirl.
Mine does too.
CoverGirl has a great tinted moisturizer that you can use under the foundation of your makeup that has some SPF in it too.
Yep,
It always
and
makes you feel a little
this
safer.
also is oil-free, so it doesn't make your face look oily when you put it on.
No clogged pores. What I do is actually, I don't always use a moisturizer. I know it's kind of bad, but I have really, really dry skin. So if I do need a moisturizer, then I use Benefit. It smells so good.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
I love it. It smells so good, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
And it does have SPF in it as well.
Nice.
So I use that, but then if I'm feeling kind of oily, I always get like a shine streak, you know, my T-zone up there on my forehead. I'll use Clean and Clear oil sheets.
These are lifesavers.
I've never used those before.
Oh my gosh, they're the
amazing.
best.
You open
They're the
them up,
best.
I have to get some.
They just like come out, like it's beautiful.
That's
And then you
amazing.
just blot them on your face and you take them off and they're like covered in oil and you're like, that's
The
disgusting.
thing is, it doesn't take off your makeup.
Yeah.
If you have foundation on and you just kind of dab, it
I
won't
am
come off.
intrigued.
You have to get some.
I am intrigued right now.
They're great. They're lifesavers. So that's what I do. And sometimes, you know, for a minimizer, if you're feeling, you know, it's again, it's Benefit. I love Benefit. So you dab it on and it'll
Shrink those
babies
pores.
up. Yep.
All right, Caroline, what do you do next?
Okay, so just sort of to make sure the makeup stays on all day. This one's from Rimmel London. And it just goes underneath everything else. And I'll do that and or a concealer. And I have this concealer stick. It's sort of like a lipstick. And I usually do it right under my eyes, and again, sort of in the T-zone or where I'm having any problems with, you know, acne or that sort of thing. I'll either do the concealer stick or then there's also the concealer brush. This one's actually a 2-in-1 concealer and highlighter. So it's really good. Again, if you do it right under the eyes, it really brightens up your eyes, makes them pop, especially, you know, if you just woke up and you're still looking a little sleepy.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. Midterms can be tough, but this is a lifesaver. So I always use these and the primer to really start out before I go any further.
Yeah, and they look so easy to use.
Yeah, they're super easy.
I have a stick as well. It's just Maybelline, found at the drugstore, but it can be used definitely under the eyes or those little problem areas that you have.
Right.
You know, kind of don't want to draw attention to that.
Right.
Also, another primer from Benefit is it's also a highlighter as well. So if you want to highlight maybe your cheekbones without going all out with blush or something, kind of will illuminate and reflect the light right there, and I like to use that.
Yep, so I next start with my liquid foundation, Neutrogena Healthy Skin liquid makeup. It has SPF 20 in it. Nice. What I really like about the Healthy Skin makeup is that it's really light and it doesn't feel cakey. I think it's important, especially if you have acne-prone skin, to get a really like light foundation that'll work to help clear stuff up. And I think even Neutrogena, not this one, but they make another one that has, what's it called? It has salicylic acid in it, which helps clear up acne while you have your foundation on. And what's also great about this foundation, and you want to make sure that when you are putting on liquid foundation, that you rub down. Like if you're using your hands, because you have little hairs on your face, that if you rub up or to the side or anything, like it makes them stand up and it doesn't lay right. So you always want to rub down, make sure the hairs are going down.
With the neck
blend with the neck.
Don't
want to, don't want people to know that you're wearing makeup.
And it's good to alternate between a flat brush and a more rounded brush. Like when you're doing more sensitive areas, like under your eyes or right by your nose, it's good to use this brush.
And that's
to
when
really
you use
blend.
like a powder foundation too. Okay.
Exactly. Because I use Bare Minerals, which has sort of a cult following because it is the best, in my opinion. And they make a foundation, they make a highlighter, they make a blush, they make everything.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's the best. And they have like an airbrush finish powder that's really good. The one thing is, this is the most expensive makeup I use. I'm a sucker for the drugstore, you know, the cheapest makeup. But this is one thing I splurge on.
You have to.
Because it does make a big difference.
And it really, you know, I watch those infomercials, QVC, that's kind of got me hooked. But it really does, it helps your skin over time. There's some proven effects that it'll help with anti-aging and help your acne, and it literally is healthy for your skin, and you can't see it. It's super easy. I am just like,
it's one of the few products that I think actually lives up to the hype. You know, you see so many commercials that claim to be miracle products, and you think, no way. But this one has not disappointed me. Bare Minerals, I'm very impressed.
I love it.
So I think
and the bronzers.
The bronzers.
We all have different bronzers.
I have a Mary Kay stick bronzer. You just like smile, put on the apples of your cheeks, make sure it's blended. That way you look nice and bronze and not like a pale ghost. So
otherwise you look sickly. You know what I do? I just dab it. And you want to make sure you don't want to get orange and have it all over bronze. So in order to avoid that, you do the line down here on your nose and kind of like. Your nose is really important, like your chin a little bit. And
it's good to use a wide brush because then it's not like streaky. I use this Physicians Formula, which again is a little more expensive, but you can find it at the drugstore. And by using this brush, I just do a quick all-over glow. So then it's not concentrated in certain areas. But actually, something that's really in makeup right now, and when I was in London this summer, it was a really big fad, is a sort of concentrated blush. You know, I think a lot of times we blend the blush, but something that's sort of coming in, it's a little edgier, is a more streaky blush. Yeah, it's sort of crazy and it sounds like, how in the world would that be attractive? But you're right, you see it on the runways.
Well. I mean,
I've been trying to do it.
It looks really good.
Thanks, and it's good to use a blush like this that has 3 different tones, like you see. It's not just one color of pink or red, because then when you do one sweep across, then it goes from gradual to dark when you do it on your face. So then it is a little more of a natural.
That is so nifty.
Yeah, it's really cool. So to get, you know, the one that has like the different shades all in one sweep. So that's something I've been trying to do, you know, a little Euro makeup style.
Good.
But it's a little riskier, so I don't always do it. But that's usually how I finish off the fresh face.
Yeah, well, I think that's all we have for our fresh face thing. We'll be trying to do more makeup things in the future.
Yeah, well, this went great, guys. Yeah. And now everyone can look beautiful and have good skin. So stay tuned. Singled Out is coming up next. Welcome back. I'm Kathleen Harper here with Caitlin Brewer, and we are here to try and find Caitlin a date. Now, Caitlin, I understand you have some questions for these fine gentlemen, but first let's find out a little bit about you. So I hear you're a dance major.
I am.
Very nice. So what made you choose that major?
I've been dancing since I was 2, and I don't know, I wanted to continue doing it.
So you're looking for a mate who can kind of keep up with you in a way.
Yeah.
Does he need to be a good dancer?
At least willing to try it.
Keep a tune, keep a rhythm.
Oh yeah.
I see what you mean. Thank you, Caitlin. Now let's hear from our guys. Contestant 1, tell us something about yourself.
I am from Martinsville, Virginia. It's down in Southwest Virginia, and I'm a journalism major here at Elon, and I also play on the men's golf team. So.
Contestant 2.
I am from north of Boston in a little town called Boxford. I am an econ major, and I play on the Lax team, Club Lax.
All right, contestant 3.
I'm a senior from Stamford, Connecticut, and I am a media arts and entertainment major here at Elon.
All right, contestant 4.
I'm from Lima, Peru. I'm a senior as well. I'm a sport event management and a media arts and entertainment major.
All right, wow, we got quite the variety with us today. So Caitlin, what is the first question that you would like to ask these gentlemen?
What is your signature dance move?
Well, I'll go first. My signature dance move is kind of go all the way down, go like this. I don't know about you guys.
I personally love the disco move. That's the best move I got in my arsenal, so that's really all I got.
More the robot. Yeah.
I guess I learned how to Dougie one time, but nobody loved it, so it wasn't very good. So.
That's funny. We got a sense of humor.
We do.
So Kaylin, now that we've heard those answers, what stood out to you?
I would say probably learning how to Dougie. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
That was good. Contestant number 1 is high on my list right now. All right, let's hear question number 2.
Big spoon or little spoon?
Ooh.
I guess I'll take it. Big spoon.
Big spoon.
I'll go big spoon also.
I'll go big spoon as well.
That answer does not surprise me.
Not at all.
Personally, I like to be little spoon. I think
Me
every
too.
girl likes to feel small and cuddled.
Definitely.
So, you know, you're safe in that one. All right, let's hear question number 3.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm, feel the ride, give it up. It's bobsled time.
Wow. All right. I'll go Lion King.
I have to second The Lion King. Really changed my life.
I'd have to go with Remember the Titans.
All right, well, those were all excellent movies.
Never.
And you'll never be bored on a date.
Oh, never.
Okay, now we have one more question left.
One more question.
All right, let's do that last question. Make it a good one.
What is the song that best describes you?
Club can't handle me right now. I go crazy.
We are the champions because I was pretty much born a champion.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Here Comes the Boom by Nelly.
It's kind of a tough one, just to pick one song. Kind of a older, I guess, older music, so I'll go with maybe Take Me Home Tonight, one of my favorite songs, so I'll go with that one.
Okay, so it sounds like we've got a wonderful bunch of men for you to choose from. Anyone who stood out to you in particular? Any answers you liked? I mean, I know a lot of girls like to laugh, and I know we were laughing a lot.
Yes,
so, I mean,
we
there's
were.
Definitely a lot of funny guys. Who do you think? I know it's so hard, but
It is.
is there anyone that stood out to you in particular?
I would say contestant 1.
Contestant number 1! Yeah, that was a great choice. Can we bring contestant number 1 over here right now with us? Come on down. All right, here he is. You are the winner. Yeah. Well, you guys, come on, like unite. Oh, we love making games with you. True love, right here in the studio. All right, guys, that's all we have time for today. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Until then, this is Etalk.